Pleasant day to you guys. I hope that you're all safe and healthy in your respective homes. So, for this afternoon, we are going to tackle all about the local and global communication in multicultural settings. So, first, let us discuss our learning objectives. First is to differentiate local and global communication. Next is to identify and understand what is a multicultural setting. Then, recognize the importance of local and global communication towards the process of interacting. And finally, to intuit the right uses and application of local and global communication. So first, what is a multicultural setting, Dikay? So a multicultural setting is a place where incorporate ideas, beliefs, or people from many different countries and cultural backgrounds reunite. So makita nato ni siya, for example, in a certain organization or in a certain company nga naay mga workers with diverse race, backgrounds na mag-work together to achieve a certain goal. Like this, makita na ito nga na yung mga diverse individuals from other countries that they work as one. So next is the local communication. So the local communication is the ability to interact or communicate between the members of your local area using local language. So ang example ani is face-to-face interaction, which is kanang magstorya mo sa imuhang katubang. Face-to-face interaction, local communication example na siya. Then, conveying announcement. Kintahay, na mo sa usa ka meeting. And then, ang inyuhang president mag-convey siya og announcement na inganhi. Karon na tay kanang buhaton na ingan activities. Yes. That is also a example of a local communication. Next is discussing with friends and speaking in front towards a certain group. So, discussing with friends, kung magsustorya mo sa friends, magchika-chika mo, naamang yun mo certain language in your nga gamiton nga ma-belongs to the local languages. Next is speaking kanang mag-meeting gihapon towards a certain of group. So, local communication has its advantages and disadvantages. What are these? The first advantage of local communication is that it serves as an instrument to be able to refer on something with the use of local language. So for example of this is that when namo sa discussion, certain discussion na, then ipa-answer mo activity later. And then, dapat mo mag-create of essay with 300 words. And then, nakakay ka nang nangutan na ang friending mo. Ngayon siya, asa dito ka nang kuhan? Ano sa to in English? Ano nga word? Ingana. So, maka-refer mo to something nga, kintahay ka ni nga word, injuhang i-invert or ikuan into English. So, mo na disadvantage sa local communication. Next is that we can understand each other in our area easily. Kay lagi, pareha lagi mag local language. So, the disadvantage of this is that the sensitivity. It is not also applicable to the whole world. Diba ang atong local language, di man dyan sa applicable into the whole world because every country has its own language. So, misinterpretation. So, kintahay, makuha ni siya nga disadvantage through the tone of your voice. Kintahay, may nga saman sa mo may nganak mo sa local language ninyo. So pasabutan na makaingon lagi mo kasir nga naita ka nasa maka mag-ingan na ba misinterpret nga mo lead sa impact mo to impact sa inyong communication. So next is the global communication. It is an interaction between individuals away from each other through space or time. So, the examples of these are the global advertisements and political speeches. So, global advertisements, kintahay. Ani sa Philippines, makakwanta nga, kanang ingan ha, Jollibee advertisement, ingan na. Then, makakuan ang mga tao sa laing basang, hala, Jollibee, lami man ni. So nagpatukod og Jollibee nga kuan adto. So magkuan sila. La, ingan ang mga Pinoy nga lami daw kuno ning Jollibee. So let's try this. May nga na sila mainganyo sila through local advertisements, then political speeches, then social media posts and books. So in our present generation, it is timely and relevant pang gyud na kitang tanan na engage na jud sa social media. Kay mo lagi millennial generation, technology, improvement, development ingana. So di natin makatingaan aning social media post as an example, and also the books. So the global communication has also its advantages and disadvantages. What are this? The first advantage of global communication is that it helps increase business opportunities. Katong ahang what I've mentioned earlier nga, through global advertisements, ma-increase ang business opportunities sa isa ka product or certain organization. Next is that it removes cultural barriers. Kintahay nga na Filipino man siya, di tamo ka na nga advantage ni as a global communication in a multicultural setting. Kintahay, for example, nag-work mo sa exact organization, then diverse in yung mga races and cultures. Makakita ang Americans na ang Pinoy, hala, hardworking siya, ingana. So it removes cultural barriers. Next is that it develops a change in the environmental, cultural, political, and economical aspect in our world. So, despite of its advantages, napoy disadvantages in global communication. So, the first one is the global issues. Hintahay, kanang nag-away ang countries sa China and America. And then, nagkuan sila nga, global issue nga, gaaway sila, nga na, chaos. So, ma-disadvantages na sa ilahang terms of global communication because of their kanang away. Next is that the misunderstanding. Kintahay, for example, nag-post siya nga ingana. Nga naman ingana. Wani dyan details ag iyahang post, so ma-misunderstood niya. Hala, nga naman nga naman. Misunderstanding. Next is that spreading of unreliable sources. So, makabaw mo dyan nga, karon in our present generation, daghan na mo dyan magpakalat og mga fake news, na magamit sila mga news na fake to gain fame, kanang para madaghan ng likes nila, madaghan ng views sa ilang videos, inganhan ng mga tao. So, that's a disadvantages of global communication. So finally, we are going to tackle all about the importance of global and local communication. So first is that we are able to express our thoughts and feelings in a certain manner, diba? Mo communicate man dito, maka-express man dito sa itong feelings, thoughts, ideas in a certain manner. Next is that it allows us to discover and learn new knowledge in a gathered data. Next is that it helps us to understand and adapt the diversity of language uses in communicating. This one majud na nakabon majud tatanan na language is diverse in every country. There are certain languages. So kintahay makagain ka nga ingan na ang word kintahay sa mingan ang American thank you, ja mingan ang kanang Pinoy salamat, ina makuha ng American na asa nagsalamat ingan na so thank you madina or makalearn ka og new language in the gathered data. And finally, it allows us to understand each other in some way. And despite of all the differences and the diversity of our language, naagit tayo willingness. Kita ang ganyan mga tao, natin willingness na makalearn na asa may kanang anak, asa may so that is the